Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. Welcome to the today's top PIB news session on EduTap, in which we will be covering the top PIB news from the month of March 2022. So guys, when we talk about the today's session, today we will be discussing a very important topic from the exam point of view, that is the prevention of the Money Laundering Act as well as the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. So why basically we are covering this? The reason behind that is it was basically in the news recently on the PIB itself. So guys, here is the headline from the PIB itself that 84.61% of the total defrauded funds attached or seized under the PMLA and the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. So basically some kind of data was being provided by the government of India during the present session which is going on. So here you can see that these two particular acts basically provides that the special court which is trying the offense, it can restore any property or asset involved in the money laundering to a third party claimant with the legitimate interest including the banks. So guys, basically here you can see the three people here, the super talented people who have done such kind of scams of the money laundering, due to which the Indian economy has really been impacted in a negative manner, and the name of these people are being mentioned here, the Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi, due to the scams which have been done by them, there was a total loss of 22,585.83 crore to the public sector banks due to these money laundering activities which were being undertaken by these three people. So guys, apart from that, there was some other important data which was being mentioned by the government, that is as on 15th of March 2022, assets worth 19,111.2 crore have been attached under the provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and out of these 15,113.91 crores have been restituted to the public sector banks. So guys, some other important data have been mentioned here. You can just go through them, but the key point here that you are required to understand from this particular news article is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act and the FEOA, that is the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018. So when we talk about the very first topic, that is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. So before moving directly to the topic, you must know that what exactly the money laundering is all about. See, you must have in your lifetime have given your clothes for the laundry. So guys, what exactly the laundry is all about? The laundry is basically to make something clean. That is, when you are giving your clothes for the laundry, that means to clean your clothes. So in the similar manner, when the criminals which disguise the illegal origins of their wealth and they just make these wealth appear to have been derived from the legitimate source, it is called the money laundering. That means the cleaning of the money which they have basically generated from the criminal activities. That process is called the money laundering. And to prevent such kind of activities, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 was being framed by the government of India. So basically, why it was needed, why it is really required to prevent these money laundering activities? Because these kind of activities has the potential to destabilize the economies and facilitate accumulation of black money besides boosting corruption. So guys, basically in order to prevent these criminals from getting ill-gotten gains from this money which they have earned from the criminal activities, this Prevention of Money Laundering Act was being established by the government of India. So let's directly move on to the PMLA and let's see that what exactly are the key important points that you are required to remember from the exam point of view from this particular act. So guys, here when we talk about the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, so here you can see what exactly is the aim of this particular act, that is to combat the money laundering in India. So guys, when we talk about the money laundering, then basically there are three stages of the money laundering. The first stage is the collection of the dirty money and then integrated that money into the official formal financial system. Now when this money is being injected into the formal financial system, what exactly is being done? The layering of this money will be done through the transfer of funds between various offshore and the onshore banks. And after that, what exactly they do? They just make it appear like it was an untainted property which they have earned from the legitimate sources. And that is basically what the typical money laundering scheme accumulates. So guys, this was basically the 3 stages of the money laundering, that is placement, layering and integration. Now let's move on to that what exactly are the important dates which are related to this particular act that you are required to remember from the exam point of view. So basically this particular act was being enacted in January 2003. It was implemented from 1st of July 2005. Now guys, one more important point is that this act has been amended thrice, that is in 2005, 2009 and recently in year 2012, that is 10 years before. So that in the last time it was being amended, it was year 2012. Now let's move on to the very important part, that is the objective of Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So why it was being launched? Basically to prevent and control the money laundering, to prevent the money laundering activities in India, this particular act was basically launched. And apart from that, it also aims to confiscate and seize the property. What exactly it means? That is the property which was being generated from the laundered money, usko jabt kar lena, that is to confiscate and seize the property. This particular Prevention of Money Laundering Act was being framed. Apart from that, to deal with any other issues which are connected with the money laundering in India, this particular act comes into force, and this act also proposes the punishments under the section 4 of this PMLA Act 2002. Now guys, when we talk about the amendments to this particular act, the 2012 amendment to the act has enlarged the definition of money laundering by including activities such as concealment, acquisition, possession, as well as use of proceeds of the crime as criminal activities. And guys, there is one more point, that is, for example, a person X has just generated this money, the black money, from any kind of activity. And guys, when he just deposits that amount of money to the person Y account, then this person Y will also be liable for the same. That means both person X and Y will be liable to get punished under the PMLA Act 2002. That was one additional point that I would like to add it, and it has been discussed. So now guys, we have discussed the aim, objective, the amendments, the important dates, but what about the monitoring of the anti-money laundering activities under the PMLA Act 2002? For this, an institution has been instituted. The name of it is Financial Intelligence Unit. So basically all the anti-money laundering activities will be monitored by the Financial Intelligence Unit, which has been created, and this particular unit was being set up on 18th of November 2004, and this unit basically reports directly to the Economic Intelligence Council, which is being headed by the Finance Minister himself. So guys, here you can see that how exactly the PMLA Act will be administered. Now comes to the very important point, that this act also imposes obligations on, that means to which kind of institutions this particular act will be applicable. So basically it applicable on the banking companies, the financial institutions, as well as the intermediaries of the securities market, such as the merchant bankers, the agents, the portfolio managers, the mutual funds, etc. So basically this will be applicable to these particular institutions. Now what they are going to do under the PMLA Act? So guys, there are certain kind of records that they are required to maintain. They are required to maintain the KYC norms, and this is the reason that why there is a KYC process in the banking companies as well, that is know your customer. So guys, when we talk about the obligations for these banking companies, financial intermediaries and the institutions, basically what they are required to do under the act, they are required to follow the procedure of the know your customer norms. Apart from that, they are also required to maintain the records of all the transactions for a period of 10 years from the date of cessation of this transaction. Now what kind of transactions it will be? There are certain values which have been set for such kind of transactions, that is the transactions values exceeding rupees 10 lakh rupees, all the cross-border wire transfers of more than rupees 5 lakhs, and apart from that, all the purchases and the sale of immovable property of rupees 50 lakh or more are being considered under these obligations for the banking companies, for which they are really required to maintain the records. So I believe that this particular part is very much clear to all of you. So guys, when we talk about this act, it also empowers certain officers of the Directorate of Enforcement to carry out some activities in order to carry out investigations in cases which involves the offense of money laundering, and apart from that also to attach the property which was involved in the money laundering activities. Apart from that, the PMLA Act also envisages to setting up of an adjudicating authority as well as an appellate tribunal. So guys, the other additional information you can just go through them. It is very much understandable from this particular part. Now, this was about the PMLA Act that you are required to remember from the exam point of view. Now let's move on to the next important topic from the today's session, that was the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018. So guys, what exactly the economic offender is? See, to understand this act and why it was being launched, why it was being framed, you must know that who is basically the economic offender. So guys, economic offender एक ऐसा person है जिसके against एक warrant issue किया है government of India ने for committing an offense, and the value of that offense is basically at least rupees 100 crore. So guys, this value is very important from the exam point of view. इस डायमेंशन के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है एग्जाम में, सो काइंडली रिमेंबर दिस पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू. नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट दैट, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली आर दीज ऑफेंसेस अंडर व्हिच द पर्सन विल बी नेम्ड एज एन इकोनॉमिक ऑफेंडर. सो सम एक्टिविटीज हैव बीन मेंशन्ड हियर लाइक द मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग, चेक डिसऑनर एंड द ट्रांजैक्शंस डिफ्रॉडिंग द क्रेडिटर्स. So these are basically some kind of activities under which the person will be named as economic offender. Now what exactly was the aim of the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018? So guys, see, basically this particular act seeks to confiscate the properties of the economic offenders. And why basically? See, क्यों जब्त किया जा रहा है उन इकोनॉमिक ऑफेंडर्स की प्रॉपर्टीज को? द रीजन बिहाइंड दैट इज दे हैव लेफ्ट द कंट्री टू अवॉइड फेसिंग एनी क्रिमिनल प्रोसिक्यूशन, हमारे जुडिशरी के सामने पेश होने से पहले, ताकि उनको ये सब चीजें फेस ना करनी पड़े और वो इस सब झंझट में ना पड़े. They do not face any prosecution. That is the reason that they just left the country. And you can just take the example of Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi or Mehul Choksi, who just avoided this kind of prosecution by just leaving the country. And that was the reason that why this particular act was being launched by the government. And this particular year is also very important from the exam point of view. So now guys, who is going to basically declare that person a fugitive economic offender? So this particular part will be performed by a court, a special court, which is being designated under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, and this court may confiscate the properties which are proceeds of the crime, benami properties and any other property in India or abroad. So what exactly will be the action point against such kind of properties? See, after the confiscation of properties, what exactly will be happen? All the rights and titles of the property will be vested with the central government, and an administrator will be appointed to manage and dispose of these kind of properties which were being, जो कि उन सभी इकोनॉमिक ऑफेंडर्स के पास थी. दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रॉपर्टी विल बी कन्फिस्केटेड, उनके राइट्स और टाइटल्स गवर्नमेंट को दे दिए जाएंगे. एंड दैट वाज बेसिकली the important point that you are required to remember from the Fugitive Economic Offender Act 2018. So guys, I really believe that this particular topic is very much clear to all of you. Now let's move on to the googly question from the today's session. See, the PMLA Act and the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act are really very important from the exam point of view, and that's why we have discussed this in a very precise and comprehensive manner. Now let's move on to the googly question, and today's googly question is basically based on the green hydrogen, green ammonia policy. This was from the news from the February itself. So do answer the question by identifying the correct statement in relation with this policy and tell me the right answer in the comment section below. So guys, this was the googly question, and now when we talk about the homework question, the homework question was basically on the theme of the World Water Day. So when we talk about the theme of World Water Day 2022, which was also being celebrated on 22nd March, then here you can see that what exactly was the right answer. The right answer was groundwater, making the invisible visible. So this was the theme. Now when we talk about the star performers who have answered this question correctly in the comment section, these people are Nilesh, Shrishti, Janani, Rajlakshmi, Nikhil, Shubham, Navjot and Anji and Mansi Sharma. So congratulations guys, well done, keep it up. And if you also want your name to be mentioned here as a star performer in the upcoming session, then please answer this question in the comment section. Here you are just required to identify the name of the portal, which is a virtual marketplace for the collectors, farmers and traders of the medicinal plants. So guys, please answer the question in the comment section below, and I will be giving out your names as the star performers in the upcoming session. So guys, if you have still not subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of the sessions. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. So guys, that was all from the today's session. I really believe that you must have understood all the important details of the PMLA Act as well as Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018. And if you are having any queries, you can drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in, and you can also call us at 814-620-7241. And if you have liked the session, please give a thumbs up in the comment section below. So thank you for joining us. Wish you all happy learning.